Mr. Funny Man at the beach, enjoying this 90-degree weather up in Jones Beach. Today we're gonna do this YouTube from outside, coming at you from Jones Beach, Long Island. And you know, once again, I already did one of these videos before about multiplats, but I guess I'm gonna have to do it again because I'm still hearing the same thing. And Zephyrnix, he had a video the other day about you know, things about what he really feels about the both consoles, you know. And you know, I just don't understand. People gotta understand that when you talk about multiplats and it looks better on 360, you have to explain why it looks better. You just can't say it looks better and that's it. You gotta explain why it looks better and the reason why it looks better. And but with the naked eye, it's dead even, to be honest. I mean, seriously, no one could without doing a side-by-side, frame-by-frame, looking at you know, the frame dropping by one number, you can't tell. All right, you can't tell. Seriously, it's not that big of a deal. It's like one game has a light blue sky, and then the other game, you know, that's a multiplat, has a dark blue sky, or the wall's dark green, and the wall on the PS3's, you know, light green. It ain't really that serious. All right. Now, when I see a gap, the way Killzone 2, Uncharted 2, God of War 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, you know, Heavy Rain graphics, you know, when I see a gap between how those games look and how games on 360 look or other multiplats look, then y'all could talk. But seriously, when it's like, and the only reason why these multiplats look better, we all know, is because these developers use the 360 as the main console, and then they just port it over to the PS3. That's the only reason. And to be honest, that ain't nothing to brag about. That is not nothing to brag about. I want to be bragging about that, to be honest. All right, basically, so what you're saying is your game only looks slightly better because it was the main choice and it was ported to the PS3, so that's the reason why it looks slightly better. Come on, let's be serious. Now, when you have a game like Final Fantasy, where they did the development on the PS3 first, look at the difference with that. That was like night and day. That was basically HD on the PS3, and it wasn't HD on the 360. Not even the damn cutscene was HD. Now that's sad. Now that's the difference. That you can see with the naked eye. Not no frame by frame. You gotta stare at it just to see a pixel or two different. Come on, let's be serious. You know. But we all know the PS3 is more powerful. We all know it can make better graphics. You know, PS3 games look better than multiplats and 360 exclusives. So, you know, like Zephyrnix, like when you say, you know, the 360 multiplats look better, it ain't really that big of a deal, and you have to explain why it looks better. And you also, and people, when they say the multiplats look better, they never say nothing about the exclusives. Who cares if the multiplats look better when the exclusives look better? And the exclusive games are the games that are supposed to show off the console's true power. So, you know, why people don't think about that? I don't know why, you know, to this day, this discussion should be over with, but I'm still hearing it a lot. And not just from Zephyrnix, from other people. You know, oh, multiplats look better. Seriously, it's not that big of a deal. All right, it's not that big of a deal because most multiplat games get the same score. So it's not like the PS3 is, you know, dreadful or looks disgusting and it gets like 2 points lower. They basically, every multiplat gets the same score. All right, this ain't back in 2006 and 2007 where games like Oblivion or there was another game that came out which looked horrible on the PS3, or like Madden, when they did Madden 30 frames on PS3 and 60 on the 360. Those days are over. Those, you know, you're talking about 2-3 years ago when the PS3 was like a year or two old. All right, now we're in 2010. So from 2008 and last year, and you know, and this year, you don't see that no more. You don't see that no more. And now these devs are really starting to look, you know, into the power of the PS3, and you're gonna start seeing some multiplats really look better on the PS3. All right. Since y'all want to brag about multiplats looking, you know, better, you're gonna see games like Crisis looking better on the PS3. All right. Games like Dead Space 2, Medal of Honor. These are developers that are taking advantage of what the PS3 could do. You know, stuff like, you know, Rage and stuff like that. So we're gonna see. But to me, I don't think that's a big deal. You know, bragging about multiplats looking better when the only reason is because they chose, you know, the console. They chose the 360 and then they just ported it over to the PS3. That's the only reason. And then for it to look basically identical, come on, let's be serious. The only way people know is from having those little internet sites that do the little frame by frame, picture by picture, and then the 360's 30 frames, and then the PS3's 29 frames. But come on, let's be serious. Without that, you wouldn't even know. Be honest. Without the internet, you wouldn't even know. All right. So I can't believe we're doing this again. You know, it's like let's say there's a Ferrari driving in local streets and it's only going 20 miles an hour next to a Kia. Does that mean that the Kia is just as fast as the Ferrari? No, it means that the Ferrari is limited to what it could do. If it was on the highway with an open road that goes miles and miles and miles, it could reach 200 easy. But it's not. So it has to go up to it has to match the Kia. You know? Come on, only an idiot would say, oh, the Kia and the Ferrari, look, the Kia is just as fast as Ferrari because they're both going the same. Or the Kia is maybe even faster because it's going 22 miles an hour and the Ferrari's not. That's because it's in a 20 mile, let's say it's a 20 mile limit. All right, so the Ferrari can't pass that, but give it a highway, an open road highway that reaches miles and miles and miles. See how fast that Ferrari goes when it has the option to. That's what the PS3 is, right? When you give it the option, the choice to when you give it the power, you know, when you use its power, and you give, you know, you put all that time into it, that baby could go as far as you want it to. All right, so that's come on, seriously, you don't compare a Kia to a Ferrari. You put a Ferrari in a local street where you only could go 20 miles an hour, that's all it's gonna do. Doesn't mean it can't go further. And it doesn't mean the car next to it is just as fast. It just means that's the limit it's given. Same thing with the PS3 and 360. All right, so Mr. Funny Man coming at you live from Jones Beach. And I'm out. Nice wave, man. People playing, people having a good time. Catching a tan out here. See ya. I'm out. Mr. Funny Man 1.